Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm your host, Veteran Mountain Man, and it's another Prepared Monday. Now, originally today I was going to do a video on how to propagate apple seeds for rare species of apples. But as many of you might be aware, over the weekend there was a bombing in the city of Nashville. Now, Nashville is about 68 miles from me. The office that I work in for my computer software work actually is in Nashville, and it's been closed down. We're not going to talk about the specifics of the attack today, but what I do want to talk about is what this actually shows. Now, one of the things that happened is the main communications exchange in Nashville was severely damaged and had to be shut down. That's part of the reason I won't be in the office today. I'll be working from home. All of the offices for the organizations that I work with in Nashville have been closed until further notice because of this. Because they don't have full network access. They don't have telecommunications, alarm system communication, security system communication, fire communication, etc. And not only is it businesses and nonprofits and government organizations, it's also things like the 911 center is having issues in Nashville. So the problem becomes is that so many people have become reliant on their communications technology that it literally shuts down the world when we don't have it. And many of our cities do not have redundant infrastructure, which is one of the reasons I continue to push you to be prepared. Now, one of the things I've spoken about in the past is having alternative means of communication, or making sure you live in an area where you can connect to multiple exchanges. And this is one of the reasons I've talked about this, is for incidents like this or other types of incidences, such as massive power outages and things of that nature. Now, if you're living in a city and there's two exchanges in the city and the entire city's grid goes down, you're still in the same situation. And although not all communication in Nashville is shut down, it's at such a small rate that realistically most of the city is not functioning. So one of the things that you do need to be aware of is just what you're doing with technology. So many people have become completely reliant on the use of their technology, such as ordering food from Amazon or Walmart or wherever. And I know in this era where a lot of people are panicked about COVID-19 and illnesses spreading, this has become a staple of how people are shopping right now. But what happens if you don't have internet access and you were going to go shopping and you don't have internet access for several days, maybe 2 weeks, while they repair the infrastructure? Have you laid up preps to have 2 weeks worth of food in your house? Many people have not. And so this is where all of the general being prepared kind of comes back full circle. It's not just knowing what the weaknesses in the infrastructure is and making sure you've taken some precautions against it, but it's also the secondary and tertiary effects of when it goes down, what can happen, and whether or not you've prepared for that. So if you haven't been preparing, this should be a wake-up call. This was a major metropolitan city. This is something that is not very common in the United States, for there to be some sort of an attack, whether from domestic individuals or foreigners, that occurs. This is one of the first times I think actual infrastructure of this nature has been targeted specifically. And so this is another example of why you need some sort of preparation put down. 2 weeks worth of food. Have some method of gathering and filtering and cleaning water. Have a method of keeping yourself warm, especially during this time period, because when the exchanges went down in Nashville, the temperature was 20 degrees. And out by me, it was much, much colder. In fact, I lost some chickens to the cold, even though I had winterized everything heavily. And I just improved the winterization for my chickens when I found out I had lost a couple due to the weather. So you need to make sure that you've got these things in. And right now, for those of you who are homesteading or starting to prepare on your properties, we have a hay shortage. I don't know if you're aware of that or not, but there is a lot of area that cannot get bales of hay or straw. I was just in a couple of farm and feed stores this weekend. I had to buy compressed bedding from Des Moines because I couldn't get real straw. I had to get compressed straw. And while it'll work in a pinch, the truth is if they hadn't ordered 2 semi-trucks full of it, I wouldn't have been able to have gotten any because we are that short on it right now. So I want to remind everybody to make sure that you are preparing. Make sure that you've got preps not just for you, not just for the family pets, not just for your family, but also for your livestock. Because, you know, I didn't think I'd have any issues finding straw. I mean, I live in a very, very, very rural community, and I couldn't get it. I had to wait a couple of days until the truck came in, and that was my bad. I should have been preparing for that. So I want to thank you all again for joining me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, make sure you start following me on BitChute because I'm pretty sure my YouTube channel won't be allowed to stay up for much longer. And as always, have yourself a wonderful day.